Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Dishonored. I'm still not completely better. I might cough a few times, but my voice is more or less back to normal. Last time when we left off, we were in Dr. Galvani's offices, still in the High Overseer Campbell mission. Dr. Galvani's office, however, relates to a side quest we got from Granny Rags. If you'll recall, she wanted us to get some plague rat viscera and use it to taint the Bottle Street gang's distillery. So here we are. I can see two guards in the room over there.
No, stupid goddamn. Huh?
Oops. Need to move faster, obviously. I bet I can get this guy straight away.
Stupid goddamn.
Alright. So we got the two of them. Here in the front hall, we've got a Galvani building key and a single coin.
That's just ridiculous. Stupid rats. Plague. Elixir. Bunch of crap.
Oh, someone's not feeling well. I'll flush you out. He's here!
What the heck? Who is that guy and how did he get there?
What happened? Whacked in the head? Hey, wake up! You hear me? Damn.
Alright, I need to move quickly because he's going to come out that door. I think he's in here. Alright. Now the hope is that that's the last one. Patrolling around here on the ground floor anyway. So let's check out this side of the offices. Customs and Food of Morley, excerpt from a traveler's journal. Born and raised in Bristol, I spent my formative years in our smaller cities before settling in magnificent Dunwall. There in the capital city, I learned to appreciate the finer things. When the opportunity arose to document my travels to Serkonos, Tivia, and finally Morley, I left my position as a clerk for the late Lord Estermont. Perhaps, like so many in Dunwall, I suffer from being excessively cultured, but I found Morley disappointing. Over the course of this journal, I will explain why I found the Festival of Churners to be tiresome despite the high banners, bare feet, and red robes, and why their renowned jellied ox tongue is something I will be struggling to forget for many years to come. Alright, so Serkonan blood sausage, there's food in here, if you've gotten hurt. Feeding log. 4th day, month of wind, assorted human remains, strong appetite. 10th day, month of wind, 1 bag Tivian pears, bruised, rotted, rats uninterested. 11th day, month of wind, 1 tin potted whale meat, eaten. 13th day, month of wind, human torso, no trouble finding corpse parts. 17th day, month of wind, no feeding, aggression increased, incident of cannibalism. 20th day, month of wind, incident with previous maidservant, will withhold feeding until first day, month of darkness. So let's check out the kitchen. So there's a full-blown swarm of rats in here. Oh, we need the Galvani pantry key. And we don't have that yet. Alright. Well, let's check out the other end of the ground floor. The third stricture. Excerpt from a work detailing one of the 7 strictures. Restrict the restless hands, which quickly becomes the workmates of the outsider. Unfettered by honest labor, they rush to sordid gain, vain pursuits, and deeds of violence. Of what value are the hands that steal and kill and destroy? Instead, put your hands to the plow, the fork, and the spade, for even the lowliest labor that is rigorous squeezes the muscles as a sponge, rinsing impurities from the mind and body. Avoiding the rat plague. Excerpt from a government protocol on disease practices. Much of the public still harbors false beliefs related to the plague. It is not true that the bile from river crusts will protect against contraction of the disease, nor is it true that crushed Morley orchids act as a remedy, though it is speculated that both of these ingredients are used in both Sokolov's elixir and Piero's remedy. Consumption of these products before exposure to the plague constitutes the only known means of resisting the disease. Further, the Abbey of the Everyman warns against superstitious practices. Not only is it ineffective to burn 2 hagfish and a cat together, inhaling the vapors while chanting the names of the plague dead, but it is also considered heresy by the overseers and will be met with the full measure of the Abbey's laws. Tell your neighbors and practice these things yourself. Avoid contact with the infected. Consume your ration of elixir daily, preferably in the morning, and report anyone suspected of carrying the plague. Everyone must work together to stop the spread of the dreaded contagion. We got bullets, crossbow bolts, wanted for various crimes, Slackjaw, reward of 2,000 coins for capture or death. Those little individual rats aren't a threat. Well, that appears to be it for the ground floor. So let's make our way to the second floor.
Wait, did you touch the door handle to Dr. Galvani's lab?
Yeah, I think so.
Then you have to scrub. The rats get their vital essences everywhere, the doctor said.
Vital essences? Does that mean guts?
I think so. So your hands need scrubbing. You're unclean.
Unclean? That's nonsense. Can't we just...
No, I told you. With rubbing alcohol or white vinegar.
All right, all right. What is he doing there all day? Ambrose says he breeds rats that carry the plague.
Your friends are ignorant. The doctor is a brilliant man. If anyone can save this city, it's him.
The royal physician is going to save us. I hear his new elixir is twice as good against the plague.
I don't understand how Galvani can admire Sokolov. Royal physician or not, I hear Telly's a beast. A superstitious philanderer who spends more time with prostitutes than he does in the laboratory.
Is this what it's going to be like when we're married? It is, isn't it?
I hope not. I'm telling you now, I don't have the endurance for it.
Alright. So they're on the move now.
Oh, no, stupid goddamn dumb son of. Marlon, yeah.
Alright, he had the Galvani lab key.
Shoot this position. He says to bring a bottle, I bring a bottle. He says to bring food, I bring food. He says to undress, I undress.
Let's find her and deal with her as well.
I have to keep this position. He says to bring a bottle, I bring a bottle. He says to bring food, I bring food.
There she is. We have a Galvani building key. I still don't think that's going to get us into the pantry with the rats. I'll check right quick. Yep. Need to watch for the pantry key. Anyway, we'll check out the bedroom next. Piero's Remedy. A Moray pocket watch, worth 50. And Dr. Galvani's journal. I've been invited to a soiree at the Boyle estate. Of course I won't attend. The 28th day of the 7th month, the month of high cold, is the day I met Anton Sokolov at the academy. Why would I tarnish the anniversary of the most important day of my life by licking aristocratic boots? I have no time for fools. I will be solving the riddle of this plague. Perhaps I'll raise a cup of Tivian Red. The most important day of Dr. Galvani's life is the 28/7, the 28th day of the 7th month. Oh, think that's going to be important? Over here we've got 2 sleep darts. Excellent. Let's keep looking around. We could take those pistols for ammo, but we've already got all we can carry. I think we can break this glass. There's a doorway back out to Clavering Boulevard. And here is the Canker Mouth Gulf map, worth 75. Now the safe, we learned the most important day of Galvani's life, 28/7. Inside there are 2 ingots worth 100 each. Through this next door. There's a pouch of 25 coins inside the open chest. What about in here? Not really seeing anything. Few isolated rats aren't a problem. When you see a hole like that, that means we could possess a rat to get somewhere, but we don't have that power yet. Travel to Pandyssia. Excerpt from a travel chronicle by Anton Sokolov. The men I set out with are good sailors. No doubt half of them have cut their teeth on the rascally pirate ships spawned in the Circonan archipelago. Or they were, I should say. Half of them died before we sighted the broken red cliffs welcoming those who would visit the far continent, as it is called. Sickness, infighting, poisoned by a school, or one would say a flock of small fish that fly over the waves like birds, landing in the hundreds across the deck, pricking any they touched with toxic quills. 2 thrown overboard by gusting demon winds. The quiet Tivian navigator simply dead in his bunk, wrapped in his white furs, eyes wide with terror. Few have crossed the ocean, and the distance to Pandyssia is greater than most would imagine. More died climbing the cliffs. And now with but a handful I stand, looking across the greatest expanse of land that exists. My allies are frightened, for this is beyond them, and now their captain is dead too, stung by something that resembled a prairie mole, but reacted with great apoplectic outrage when handled. So it falls on me to lead them. Alright, let's head up another level to the 3rd floor. We can blow out the candles, which is cool. Only 2 doors. Cleaning instructions. Dear Ms. Benton, when cleaning my study, I ask that you constrain your efforts strictly to the floors. Please, at all costs, refrain from attempting to clean or arrange my bookshelf. In fact, it would be best to keep away from it altogether. Otherwise, I'll have to reconsider the terms of your employment. Regards, Dr. Galvani. P.S. Since I'll be out of the city for a few days, I've left next week's pay as well. The bank was closed, so I'm afraid it's short by half. You can count on me for the remainder next week, of course. For some reason, Galvani warned his servant to keep away from his bookshelf in the laboratory. So the lab key will open this door. That looks like a diagram of the... Looks like just a flower of some sort. River crusts are vulnerable when they open their protective shells to spit acidic slime at prey. I'm not sure where we learned that, but oh, right here. Galvani Academy Notice. Galvani, the latest case should arrive within a week, containing all the components you need. Be careful with the white phosphorus. Can't have you getting phossy jaw like the tanners at the edge of the city, poor bastards. Sorry you have to practice in secret. The vivisectionist should be celebrated, revered even. Cutting up rats should be done in the town square with a crowd of eager students taking notes, not in some dirty little secret room hidden behind a wall of books. Anyway, lucky for you to have an old friend who never left the academy. Let me know what else you need, but remember it might be a month before I can put together another shipment. Yours in knowledge, Artemis Moore, Procurement Clerk and Provisioner, Academy of Natural Philosophy, South Wing. P.S. Next time you're nearby, come in for an afternoon. We've stayed fairly insulated from the plague since so few come and go here, and we've got quite the stock of Tivian brandy. Anyway, you have to look carefully at the table, because one of these is a processed whale oil worth 30. Another exit to Clavering Boulevard. Back here on the desk, Rat Behavior and Extermination. Excerpt from a series of interviews with street workers by rat catcher Lena. Used to be you'd go out with a bag, a stick with a nail on the end, and catch as many rats as you could in a night. The city watch paid by weight. My husband Benjamin and I mostly worked alone, and we got by. If we found a place where the rats were real bad, sometimes we'd hire a crew of street rats to work with us, the younger ones who didn't make trouble. We'd pay them with bread and apple cider. Once the plague came, the rats were different, meaner, bigger, and a little quicker. You had to watch yourself. If you got cornered, they'd turn, and the swarm would come back at you. I barely got away with my skin a few times, down in the sewers. The bites hurt afterward, but it was the sounds they made that stayed in your dreams at night. It got more dangerous, and the city watch started paying better. But that didn't last long, because after a while too many people had been stripped clean trying to fill up a bag. One slip and they'd be all over you, gnawing and trying to chew down to the bone. That's how I lost my poor Benji. Let's listen to the audiograph now.
Obviously, the plague rat is distinct from the ordinary rat, but in what respect? Its size and the coarseness of its fur, and I believe in intelligence, although the experiments there are not complete. Coriander Zoological Survey describes only the ordinary rat, which means plague rats have only been here for 5 or 7 years at most. This was not a gradual migration. Could they have been introduced on purpose? Perhaps by a foreign power.
Alright, let's look around some more. The Rat Plague. Excerpt from a natural philosopher's notes. For over a year I've studied this cursed plague, collecting and dissecting rats by the thousands. Given their rapid gestation and maturation cycle, it's been possible to breed them for numerous generations. The rodents itself seem immune to the plague, but they pass it readily between members of their own species, perhaps through mites. The blood of the rats tells its own story, allowing me to gauge the number of generations that a given group of rats have lived with the plague. As such, a nagging question remains. The rats collected in the poorest parts of town, in the slums, exhibit the oldest strains of the plague, while those found near the docks, where the foreign plague-bearing rats would presumably have entered our city, exhibit a younger strain of plague. Could this mean that the rats were transported to the slums in some way that is not obvious? I will continue my research. If nothing else, I am living proof that Sokolov's elixir and Piero's remedy are very effective at protecting against the plague, if one consumes enough of the stuff. So we need to smash this cabinet. A single coin and a coin of 10. Check this room out. The Leviathan's Sorrow. Excerpt from a report on a treatise banned by the Rudshore Trade Council. Little is known of Picotti, credited with this series of pamphlets arguing against the whaling trade. While he is gifted, his views are nonsense and threaten the economic underpinnings of the empire. 1. Enslavement. On the breeding and husbanding of whales versus hunting the beasts in the wild after a natural and free life cycle. Picotti offers no solutions for where these massive malevolent creatures might be pastured. 2. Dissolution. Laments on the destruction of social bonds between herd members. Picotti actually uses the term families. 3. Harmony. Drivel on the aesthetic wonder of what is, in reality, the great and terrible ocean that ever threatens to swallow us. Includes arguments on the gentle nature of the brutes, a notion refuted by seamen who return to shore, wide-eyed with tales of the whale's savagery. 4. Disruption. Here Picotti is on his weakest footing, issuing up feverish warnings against the displacement or transference of natural beasts from their native environments. And now before we head for the secret room, let's check out the other ordinary rooms. Not much going on in any of these. Alright, so let's go check out the secret room now. We got plague rat viscera. Contaminating the Bottle Street Gang's elixir still with plague rat viscera will infect anyone who drinks the elixir with the plague. That includes the Bottle Street Gang and the people who buy their black market elixir. We've got 8 single coins and a coin of 5 for a total of 13. There's another Piero remedy. Sewer capacity in the month of nets. Excerpted interview attached to a formal report by City Works Crew 17A. I've been asked to tell the problem, so here it is. It's been every year that we work like men gone mad during the month of nets. I don't hardly see my family. It's bad enough that the works is clogged with trash from the catch, pieces of crates and nets, but the water smells of hagfish guts too. We got to get it done before the month of rain, or you know what. And it ain't like we get help from those pricks in civil engineering either. Been at this job for nigh on 28 years, and I ne'er seen one of 'em come below, except to measure will it hold when they go putting up one of their fancy new bridges. So these last 3 years been the worst, and here's why. It's the river crusts moved into the works. We hear a man ahead yell and scream like he's burning up, and we all climb up fast, no other choice. Now, I still haven't found a pantry key. So let me try... Well, I only have dark vision. I think I only have dark vision level 1. No, I've got it level 2 already. So let me try dark vision. See if I can find it.
Dice.
Well, it isn't up here. We'll take those spring razors.
Dice.
And let's go down a level. Doesn't seem to be anything on this level either.
Dice.
Ah! I'm gonna close this door because I don't want the rats to... I'm gonna close all these doors because I don't want the rats to get out and eat any of the people I knocked out. The pantry key was right there the whole time. How silly of me. Alright. So we should be able to whittle away at the swarm from up here. And you'll notice once we kill a critical mass of the swarm, they settle down and they aren't a threat anymore. So while we're in here, we just want to grab those medicinal herbs. There's a Piero remedy too, but we don't need that. That is it for Dr. Galvani's offices. And now that we have the plague rat viscera, we're ready to head to the Dunwall whiskey distillery, which we passed up earlier. So let's head back out there. I'm going to stay in stealth mode because... Let's go to Clavering Boulevard. Even though I've knocked everyone out, I think they do sometimes respawn. Well, we look good so far.
Attention, Dunwall citizens. John Clavering Boulevard has been designated a restricted travel area. Any citizens are ordered search or imprisonment at the discretion of the city watch.
Alright, so let's head to the Dunwall whiskey distillery. Entering hostile zone. Hatters fired the first shot, but Bottle Street Gang fired the last. So let's...
Word is, he's like a phantom, with an army of shadows in front of him.
That guy Dowd? Ain't he just a boss? Like Slackjaw?
No, this is one odd bird. Consorts with crazies, does rituals and the like, bone charms and such.
You sounded afraid.
Damn right I am. Dowd ain't no ordinary man. Touched by the outsider he is, given dark powers. He can slit your throat across the room.
Well, that'd give him a leg up for sure.
It's no coincidence that most men won't even whisper his name.
Is it true that he lives in the flooded district? With them weepers and wild hounds?
That's what they say. Perfect place for a paid killer to hide.
Alright.
Cross the line, and you'll have your throat.
What the?
Oh. I did not even realize there was another dude down there.
Picked up anything good?
Blow off, Chopper.
Who's that? What the?
Oops. Still got spotted.
Got anything to smoke or eat?
Blow off, Chopper. Get back.
Alright, we got that guy. I see 3 others over there. Let's just keep an eye on them for now.
Any fools settled in over here?
There he comes.
Let me see what's going on over here.
He was carrying a Distillery master key.
Any fools settled in over here? Let me see what's going on over here.
All right, there's another one. I think there's one over here somewhere, but I could be wrong. He might have moved out already. Yeah, looks like he did.
You got luck. When you're this handsome, you don't need luck.
Face like a hagfish.
Hey up. Don't be sour.
Say, when's Slackjaw coming down?
Not till the next batch of elixir. You'll want to check on it.
Then you better get all your shit together, huh?
Everything's fine. I run still like I run a game of Nan. Let me see what's going on over here.
Looks like we still have 4 thugs up, out and about in the yard. Now we've got 3. Let's eyeball them. Too slow.
Picked up anything good? Blow off, chopper.
Alright, now there are just two.
What?
Oops. We'll get his coin purse. And we'll get his too. Alright, I think the yard is clear now. Thank goodness. Well, this is just for giggles, but let's stash his body too. Alrighty, now we can start looking around. Up here, there's a jar of medicinal herbs. As well as a projectile launcher with an incendiary bolt. We already got the 2 coin pouches, worth a total of 35. Let's get back down to ground level. In here, there's a jar of medicinal herbs, some sleep darts, another master key, and 2 chunks of Tivian ore for a total of 60 coin, as well as a new book to read, The Elixir Black Market, excerpt from a letter. We've seen widespread looting since the month of clans. It wasn't prevalent at first, but it's a pattern now. There's an outbreak in one of the districts and the watch moves in. We quarantine buildings, put down weepers, and deport anyone showing early signs. Afterward, the dead counters come through and the lawyers write up the paperwork to transfer ownership of businesses and homes at Parliament's discretion. Soon after, like clockwork, the gangs begin tearing the place apart. There's a fairly robust black market now because everyone wants elixir and most can't afford it. Even Sokolov's brand won't help you if you've already got the plague, but getting a regular dose is your best chance if you want to avoid contracting it. Some of the gangs have taken to buying small amounts and watering it down before selling it, and I have to admit if I didn't have an officer's ration, I'd be buying from them. Gerard Corey, City Watch 3rd Regiment, Estate District. As we head over here, over in this trash pile, there's a roll of copper wire worth 10. So there's the old Dunwall whiskey distillery. There's a rewire tool and another roll of copper wire. Now there's a bone charm somewhere in here. But I think we might need to go to the we might need to get all the way inside the distillery. So let me go ahead and head inside. Before I do that though, just to the right, we can get another incendiary bolt, another master key, and another roll of copper wire. Alright, now let's head in. Alright, so we can see more thugs down there. Let's be careful of the trap, too. Let's try going through the barred door. Recipe for Crackston. Crackston, I'm coming tomorrow to check on the batch. Make sure you're wearing pants this time and stick to the recipe. 1 part Sokolov's elixir, 1 part beach gum paste, 2 parts sugar water. That's it. The more of the real shit you cut in, the less there is to spread around and the less coin I make. This ain't a charity. Slackjaw. The Distillery District. Excerpt from a pre-plague promotional book on products made in Dunwall. Across the Empire, Old Dunwall whiskey is not only the finest libation of its kind, but it's also an important cultural tradition among discerning folk, sophisticated and common alike. Captains moving their ships across the great ocean always have a bottle in their quarters for occasions, fine restaurants and bars keep it in stock, and farmers across Bristol exchange Old Dunwall whiskey when healthy children are born. Some might disagree, preferring highbrow drinks such as King Street Brandy or one of the other brands from Morley, but sales of Old Dunwall have been brisk through the early years of Empress Jessamine Caldwin's reign, a trend that is expected to continue. Aged and bottled in Dunwall's Distillery District, Old Dunwall whiskey is what you want. I want to deal with these two before I do much else.
So he goes, not to the Abbey or the office of the High Overseer, but one of the other places, where they train the Overseers to be real religious. Crazy. He just wants to know where his brother's gone. He sneaks in. You know where it is. Throw you in at him when he's sober.
We got a hemlock essence and some copper wire just then for a total of 30.
Brimsley job, hidden the dumbwaiter all night.
Yeah. So he goes from room to room, kids sleeping, an overseer giving a lecture to the kids. A couple guys training with those hounds.
Stuff you'd expect.
But it gets weird. Some kind of machinery. Then a woman laughing, just laughing and laughing. Then music. A kind of plinky, plonky sound. That's what spooked him.
You sure he wasn't drunk?
Says he still hears it at night. He never did find his brother.
That's an e-slapper, Rodney. Okay, I got one for you. Nobleman laid the stone so loudly. The nobleman's wife carved himself.
So once we get through the gate, there's a pouch of 20 coin and some processed whale oil over here. That's a total of 50. Ooh, a grenade. Another grenade.
You win. Well, I know 100. My mama used to tell us.
Alright, those guys are on the move now.
Any fools settled in over here?
We've got 3 to deal with.
Picked up anything good?
Blow off, chopper.
Let me see what's going on over here.
Alright, we got one, and we disarmed the traps, and now we can use the main stairs.
Any fools settled in here? Come on!
We got him, but I just saw a 4th. We got 2 coin pouches off of those 2 for a oops. For a total of 40. Now I just spotted a 5th. Oh. There's a 4th up there and a 5th below us. Maybe I do want to climb that chain. Now let's go bag the one I saw below. Where did he go? Right over here. Alright, we got him. I think we're clear now. So let's start looking around. Inside this ashtray, there's a coin of 5. There's another launcher to disarm.
What?
And there's another thug. Not entirely sure where he came from, but he never spotted us, so I would say all is well. Let me look around down here. Whatever this corner is looks completely sealed off. And I think now we're just down to that back area. So let's head up here. We've got hemlock essence for 20 and copper wire for 10. That's a total of 30. We're almost done in the distillery, and I'm going to end the video once we finish. Over here we've got the rat plague. We've read that already. In here we have a pouch of 20, 2 coins of 5, and a single coin. And if we head through here, under the stairs, there's a coin of 10 and a single coin, adding up to 11. Now that's all the coins for the distillery. There's a bone charm in here too. Let's get that spring razor. Elixir accounts. Next batch. Tubbard family 4 doses. Cramling family 3 doses. Braden family 5 doses. Golden Cat 2 crates. Bitterleaf Almshouse 1 crate. Ed Knack 1 dose. Luther 1 dose. Black Sally 2 crates. Griff past due. Trace Flannery 2 doses. Pratchett family 5 doses. Nellie and Morris Sullivan 2 doses. Bootleg still instructions. Operating instructions. Attach an empty elixir vial to the spout before you turn the thing on. Turn the valve on. Collect the full vial. Repeat until empty. Do not break vials. Do not spill any elixir. No free swigs. Infect bootleg elixir. So now we can go get a rune from Granny Rags. But before I do that, there's a bone charm somewhere in here. Let me see if I can track it down. Ah. It's up above me. There it is. That's 3 out of 5 bone charms found. Robust 1. Potions give you slightly more health. I don't think that's worth giving up anything we currently have equipped. So let's go see Granny Rags to get a reward. She's gonna give us another rune.
That will never... I knew you wouldn't disappoint me. Now I can stroll along the waterfront in peace.
Excuse me.
And don't think I've forgotten your little gift. Go on upstairs, dear one. I told you, peel it off.
And we get another rune. It's 3 out of 7 for this mission. I still need one more to get Blink level 2. Now all that's left is to head to Holger Square.
On the right side of the tray. So we sat.
Attention, Dunwall citizens.
Let's go this way.
Has been designated a restricted travel area. Any citizens are liable to search or imprisonment at the discretion of the City Watch.
What do I push to drink a mana potion? I don't need it right now, but I would like to know. T. R is health, T is mana. Okay. I think I must have blinked a little too rapidly. So I actually lost a chunk of mana that won't regenerate. It's alright though. We can get past the second wall of light over here and leave it intact, which is usually the smart play. Now that we're past it, we've got another rune and we can upgrade Blink. And what do I want next? Possession, Bend Time, Devouring Swarm, or Wind Blast. Vitality, Bloodthirsty, Agility, or Shadow Kill. I think I want Agility next. Confiscated Rune. Corporal Meadows, we found this strange rune on the woman who used to sell pastries up the street. Not sure how she died, but since the thing looks superstitious, we set it aside for the overseers. After your shift is over, take it to them for disposal or whatever they do with them. Don't forget. Now we might as well drink a mana potion. We'll head through to Holger Square, and then I'm going to end the video at the start of that new area. City of Dunwall, Holger Square. High Overseer's office. Campbell plans to poison Guard Captain Kernow. A low-ranking overseer has been blackmailed into putting the poison into the drinks they are to have after the meeting. I don't know how I learned that, but alright. Alright, let me make a new anchor save, and I'm going to end this video here. This has been Let's Play Dishonored. If you enjoy my videos, I hope you'll consider liking, sharing, subscribing, any or all of which will really help me out. But even if you don't, I want you to know that I really appreciate the time you spend watching, and hope you have a fantastic day. See you next time. Bye-bye.